Foundation videos.
How to build a hose horn with Special Agent Josh Geddis.
Hi everyone, my name is Josh Geddis and I'm the music teacher over at St. Anne's Catholic Secondary School. Last month or so has been a little crazy. I'm sure a lot of you guys are getting a little sick of being in front of screens and kind of the new learning environment that you're in. I'm in the same boat as a teacher. It's pretty interesting being a music teacher with 75 students and having to teach them online. So I was thinking really long and hard about what it was I was going to do for this video today, what I was going to teach, what rich lesson I was going to learn, and then I thought, you know what? I need to get outside. So I got outside and I came to one of my favorite places, the garage. And I started looking around and thinking, I wonder if I could do something out here in the garage to show maybe my music students, other music students, and just people who are interested in maybe getting outdoors and doing something with their hands, something cool that you can do with music. I have no experience in what I am about to do, but I've always wanted to build one of these, and maybe we'll learn a few things about music when we do. Today, we're going to build a hose horn. Materials. What do we need to build a hose horn? Well, first thing we need, seems like every project I see you need like some safety gear, so we've got these goggles. Maybe we'll wear them in a little bit. You need a cool sign. This says GarageBand 101. You need a funnel. Any funnel will do. I chose this one because I like funnels that are a little bit different and interesting, and I wanted to see how it would sound. You need some garden hose. Any length will do. You can experiment with different lengths, different sounds. It has to be the end that screws onto the tap that you would turn on to get water to come out. And you want to make sure that once you find this scrap hose lying around your yard or your house, that you clean the end with soap or you get yourself a tetanus shot. The last thing that we need is some tape. Electrical tape or duct tape is the best sort of tape. So those are our materials. Safety gear, funnel, hose, any length will do, with a cutoff end and the end from the top, and some tape. And that's all that we're gonna need to build our hose horn. So here we go. I've got my horn already kind of curled up here. You might have to do a little bit of work with yours, but the next thing that I'm gonna do is just tape it a little bit. No real method to the madness here. You just want it to be held together a little bit so that it's easier to manage when you're playing. Now I should mention you are getting the classroom experience here with Mr. Geddis. We've gone far off topic from what I was going to do originally in this video. And if you want to see how off topic I can get, you got to take some music in high school at St. Anne's. Okay, so we've got this end of the hose here. That's going to be the end that a little bit down the road we're going to play into. Now, if you play a brass instrument or know what a brass instrument is, those are our French horns, our trumpets, our trombones, euphonium, baritone, tuba, that sort of thing. If you're a brass instrument player, and even if you're not, you've probably seen one of these instruments, you know that at the end of them, they have a bell. And that is the part of the instrument that really lets the sound come out and expand and get nice and wide. So when you listen to the sound right now, doesn't really sound like much. We're going to give this instrument a bell and try to expand the sound. Here we go. Now I'm lucky this funnel just fit right in. You might have to tape it around a little bit more if your funnel is a little too big or too small or kind of the same size as the hose. Sometimes it takes a little bit of extra tape. This funnel really fits nice. I'm going to tape it up just to seal it. There we go. I guess I should put on my safety goggles. We're going to try this out here. How do you hold it? I guess I should hold it kind of like this. All right, we've got a hose horn built. Now let's learn a little bit more about it and take these goggles off. How do I get my hose horn to make sound? That's probably what you're wondering right now. Maybe you've built your hose horn. Might look like mine, might look a little different. You blow some air into it, no sound. We're going to borrow a principle from our friends in the brass section of the band called buzzing. When a brass player makes noise through their mouthpiece, they use a technique called buzzing. Sounds like this, looks like this. What they're doing is putting their top and bottom lips together, not pressing too hard, but not pressing too light, and letting air pass through at a high rate of speed that lets the top and the bottom lip vibrate and produce a buzz sound. Now, how do you get a good buzz sound? Well, I am not a brass player by trade. I'm a saxophone, guitar, a little bit of fiddle guy. So I don't pretend to know all there is to know about perfecting the brass buzz. But I do know how to get an okay sound out of this, I think. So, a couple tips from me for the hose horn. If you think with your lips and to try to get them in kind of a nice shape. You're not frowning, you're not smiling, just a nice straight line with your lips. You're keeping your cheeks nice and tight in. You're not puffing your cheeks. That's something we talk a lot about if you're a new brass player. You're keeping everything kind of straight in line and nice and tight, and you're getting that buzz sound. If you're getting this, and you can't get any air through, you're holding your lips too tight. If you get this sound, your lips are too loose. So it's a little bit of fiddling around to try and find the mix that works for you. So that's buzzing. The next thing we have to talk about is our embouchure. In music, embouchure refers to kind of everything with how your mouth, your face, your tongue, even sometimes your teeth, all these muscles in here and how they interact with your mouthpiece. In this case, our mouthpiece is the tap end of the hose. So we're going to put our mouth onto the mouthpiece, and you're going to try to kind of intercept the mouthpiece so that your mouth isn't going like this, or like this. You're not off to the side like this, kind of looking like this. It's hard to describe in a short amount of time. When you breathe, you're going to breathe out the sides of your mouth while keeping your face on the mouthpiece. You can see my air is coming in out here. And then you're going to blow out and make that buzz sound. And that's how you get a sound out of your hose horn. So we've talked a little bit about buzzing technique. We've talked a little bit about embouchure, how all of our face interacts with the mouthpiece to get sound. The sound carries through and expands out the funnel, if it were a real brass instrument, the bell of the instrument to produce a nice big sound. Pretty cool. Okay, so you got your hose horn built. You've learned a little bit about the mouthpiece, a little bit about the bell, a little bit about brass instruments, how to buzz, a little bit about embouchure, how to get a sound out on this hose horn thing. Now, we're going to do one last advanced technique that you can go outside and share with all the neighbors, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy it. Might even be a good way to get mom or dad out of bed super early in the morning or something like that. Sneak your hose horn inside the house, test it out inside. 5:30 a.m., no time is too early for the hose horn. All right, if we were in a music class, we would learn about the harmonic series of notes. And to put that into terms that everybody will understand, on a brass instrument, you can hit multiple notes without changing your valve or slide position. If you're on a trombone, you use a slide. What does that mean? Well, do you know what a bugle is? If you've ever seen anybody play a bugle, they don't have valves on a bugle. The bugle player can play multiple notes without pressing anything down or changing anything about the instrument. How a brass player achieves that? Well, it's a little bit of a complex process to teach you with a hose in my hand in the garage and not in a music class. But if you change kind of your airflow, a little bit about your buzz and how your air travels into that instrument, and some stuff with your embouchure, you can create different notes that we call a harmonic series. So that means that this hose horn here should, if I built it correctly, and if I'm okay at buzzing and changing my embouchure and air around a little bit, I should be able to hit a few different notes on it. Let's try it out and see what happens. There you have it, a beautiful harmonic series of notes on the hose horn. I hope you learned a little bit today. I challenge you to go out, find a hose, find a funnel, get some electrical tape and some safety goggles. Always gotta have the safety goggles for any job. Build yourself a hose horn. See if you can buzz. Get your embouchure on the mouthpiece. Breathe in. And see what you can make of a harmonic series of notes on the hose horn. This has been Josh Geddis, music teacher at St. Anne's, live from his garage.